Every year, we talk about the challenges of priorities and lobbying, and like you just said, deal making. What's different this year? Are you feeling? Are you feeling a difference this session?
It's 2026 versus 2025.
Other than the number.
Other than the number.
Is there a new energy? Is there? I feel like when I talk to some people, there's a lot of young freshman legislators who have kind of a little bit more optimism, but I don't know.
I'm optimistic too.
Are you?
Just also realistic about what's going on. So like,
what are you optimistic about?
That it's all going to change. That it's all going to
You
get better. But while I have hope for the future, that doesn't mean I disregard the failures of the past or the failures that are perpetuating even right now. So we can acknowledge those things and say, hey, let's do better. Let's study history, figure out what's broken, and let's make it better in the future. So I'm all about that. I don't want to come across as a pessimist. I'm very much an optimist.
Not pessimistic, realist, I guess.
Sure, an optimistic realist.
That's perfect. Maybe, like I said, maybe I'm just reading it wrong, but yes, if you're optimistic for change, then that's great. No, I that's what we want to hear. Okay, so going back, so you mentioned transportation. With education, crime. You talked about the police force. I did read a statistic that it's slowly increasing.
That's good.
Are you encouraged by what's being done? Because right now there's a search for the chief.
Okay. Yeah.
So how are you feeling about what they're doing, what the HPD is doing now to encourage people to come out? Are you feeling optimistic about recruitment and people excited about it?
So something that my office does is almost every mailer, every email newsletter, we encourage people to join HPD. Hey, call your cousin, call your grandson, ask them to join HPD, to join the fight. So for sure, our office is doing our part to bump up those numbers, but we're also addressing what needs to be done, which is fill the vacancies. So,
what do you think is the hindrance? What's the problem? Or is it the culture?
I think so. So if the radical left media says that the police are bad, defund the police, and look at all these videos of them abusing their powers, that's going to communicate to Americans, oh, wow, police officers might not all be good. And I don't know if I can trust my police officers. And I was just talking to somebody the other day who said, they're not going to do anything about it. They're just going to let them go. Like when the governor and the left-leaning legislator pass laws that you can destroy somebody's property up to $700 or steal up to $700 worth of goods from a department store, and you're not going to get a petty misdemeanor. That's encouraging crime. I believe it's an agenda from the left to actually cause chaos, to overthrow the Constitution someday.
Okay, and that's the discussion we are having. But what about the individual watching? Do you not give them enough credit that they are discerning that?
Oh, I love the police. You're talking about the police?
No. I'm talking about the regular people, because you're talking about when viewers view radical media, right? Yeah. You're saying that they think, oh, they're influenced by it, right? That's what I'm hearing.
So I'm not saying all like 340 million residents of America, I'm not saying they all think like this. I'm saying that if there's a perspective that kind of floats in the culture of, we've got 10 kids that are graduating high school, and we all ask them, hey, what do you guys want to do right after you graduate? Most of them aren't going to say, I want to join HPD. They're going to say, I want to join maybe a job that is comfortable, the AC's there, nice coworkers, and they just have great benefits, versus you work on the streets, work with people that might cuss at you, yell at you, maybe even shoot at you. That's scary. So even if the media was all for police, it's still a scary job.
Yes. You risk your life.
Yes, absolutely.
But
if you add onto that, scary job plus left-leaning media that is like against you, like against your whole purpose, which, for instance, like the media is totally against ICE. Not this media, maybe, or maybe not all the media, but a lot of media is against the ICE, and the ICE is one of the law enforcements out there.
But okay, so going back to, that was an example of ICE, but going back to HPD, I think maybe, don't you think it's a little bit more nuanced than people being influenced by perception of it? Don't you think people, maybe the youth these days, just don't want to put their lives in danger, do you think it's a more symptomatic of youth wanting to do other types of things in their careers, as opposed to when we were growing up? I mean, I don't know how old you are, but when I was growing up, I loved police. Like the DARE came on, even though DARE was not really a success. But them coming to the schools and talking, that really gave me a sense of, wow, police officers are awesome. They take great care of us. They're all about, saving our lives and all this. But I don't see that kind of culture anymore of respecting that and really seeing them as heroes. But I don't know if I wouldn't blame it on media. I would blame it on just generally, parents also, and maybe just
I'm not saying
so
it's your
many
fault.
different
I'm not
issues.
saying it's Hawaii News Now's fault
Oh,
or
yeah.
whoever your overhead company's fault.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that there is a shift in America in the past 30 years towards police officers when it comes to people who watch programs.
Yeah. Well, I can acknowledge that, but it wouldn't be me.
Listen, I'm not saying it's that, Lisa.
It wouldn't be me.
No. This is a nice
But I
lady.
feel like I have to defend. I feel like I have to defend us.
Sorry, I came off too hard.
No, that's okay. Be authentically you, which I told him to do. So, no, but I guess as a member of the media, I do have to I have to say something about it. But yeah, definitely not from a defensive posture, but just to at least have that robust discussion, because there are people who feel like you and there are people who feel like me much more, and they'll probably get mad at me for not arguing a little bit more, but
Well, here's space to argue more.
I don't want to be. I'm here in a very collaborative measure.
Okay.
Okay, so crime. We talked about. What was the other ones? Crime, housing. Okay,
cost of
housing.
living.
What was the Jones Act? Okay, so this is something that is very personal to me
Wow.
too, because I agree with you. I feel like there should be
Wow.
reforms to the Jones Act, but as we've seen, I mean, you tell me. You've done the research. I have not done the research, so I cannot speak informed about this. But I just know personally that it is such a detriment to our costs here.
Mm-hmm.
Why are we not doing more of it? I mean, that's such a
Yeah.
bigger conversation on the federal level.
Mm-hmm.
And I've asked, federal, military, Navy people
Mm-hmm.
about this, because there is such a push to upgrade our shipbuilding.
Yeah.
But I feel like on the and we're working with allies like Korea and Japan to build our ships. So
Yeah.
larger discussion for another day. But just from your perspective, what is the challenge to reforming?
So this is a federal conversation. So a Jones Act is a federal law, and we have 4 delegates that represent Hawaii: Mazie Hirono, Brian Schatz at the Senate level, and in the House we've got Ed Case and Jill Takuda. Ed Case is for the modification.
Yes.
That's wonderful.
I know that.
The other 3 members are, I believe, just simply bought off by the unions that are pro-Jones Act, because they think that if we modify the Jones Act, we're going to have less goods going to American ports. Basically, if a ship comes to an American port, they have to pay the port. Port workers have more job opportunities to work with those ships. It's kind of selfish. Like, why are we just focusing on the port workers? How about we focus on the entire state? We want all of the goods for everybody in every county to be cheaper. So let's just make some shortcuts. Let's not have that ship go all the way to the west coast in Oahu. Let's just go straight from Asia to Oahu. So there you go.
Okay. I get that. Anytime, there's always going to be competing interests and lobbyists. And yes, that's the reality of being a politician, right? There's going to be lobbying. But is the fundamental argument seems sound, right?
I think it's very sound.
But again, what do you think? Even if we were just to make an addendum about, Hawaii, right? Something just very specific about us here, or even Alaska, I don't know.
Yeah. And Guam and Puerto Rico.
Yeah, okay. All the people that are not part of the contiguous United States. What steps do you think can be done, if any, to do that?
You would have to go inside the brain of Jill Takuda, Brian Schatz, and Mazie Hirono and say to them, doesn't it make sense to serve the people of Hawaii versus just the harbor workers that are bought off by a union? And then they'd have to go, you know what, you're right, let's be more selfless and think of everybody.
Okay, so it's more, okay, then I'll have to ask them the question more pointedly to just to find out.
Can I give a disclaimer? Everybody who works at a port and a harbor,
oh, here we go.
I love you and thank you for who you are. And thank you for being a part of a union that helps you have affordable wages. But there's sometimes other elements and other dynamics that go on that aren't thinking of the entire state.
Do you feel like maybe the public is just, there's no will or interest in fighting this
Sure.
issue?
So
That's probably part of it.
I was 27 when I felt called to run for office. I wasn't even registered to vote here. And then enough people said, you should do it. and by God's grace, I did it, and here I am. So I'm in the conversation. I'm trying to fight the fight. But I was part of that 70% of our state that doesn't vote, and to some extent gave up. I'm in the fight now, so we have to get that other 70% to join the fight.
What was the catalyst for you?
I believe I had an encounter with God, and then 2 people asked me to run.
And that was it?
Yeah.
That isn't that much. That seems
Well, I'm grateful.
I mean, for 2 people, and you said, a connection with God.
Yeah.
So, maybe, because I feel a general apathy amongst the public.
For sure.
And there's just an unawareness of a lot of the issues that we even talk about. I mean, obviously, we try, as media, we try to engage and we try to raise awareness. But
Thank you.
at the same time, it is a challenge. I think people are just so, they're focused on their microcosms of working and kids.
And it's valid.
Yeah.
I'm a licensed mental health counselor. It's almost beneficial to them to care about their kuleana and their ohana versus constantly balancing their mind all the issues of the state, because it can be overwhelming.
Yeah. So if we were to wrap this up in just kind of a nice bow of what you are hoping as a takeaway from the session and a call to action for people. And, we talked about just generally the group mindset that you're dealing with over at the Ledge. I mean, what's a takeaway for folks, I guess, if they wanted to see change and support some of the stuff that you talked about today?
For sure. So everybody can go online and Google Republican Report and subscribe to our newsletter, and then you can be aware of all the bills to testify for or against. And then you've got more public input in the legislature about what the community wants when it comes to bills. You can also call or email your local legislator and say, this is what I want you to work on, this is what I don't want you to work on. And then everybody should vote. And then we have a lot of seats that should be flipped with you in there. So run for office.
Well, and that's what you did, right? So
I'm grateful. Yeah.
And I think, we saw last year more Republicans in the legislature.
Yeah.
So that was a movement toward change. If we were to talk about kind of seeing new blood, as we were talking about younger people, more people representing different mindsets, different views. So again, the conversation, the best we can do is to continue having these conversations and being optimistic, like you said.
Very optimistic, yes.
So Elijah Pierick, thank you so much. I appreciate you coming on and having this very engaging discussion with me. I have not had this yet, so I was really pleasantly surprised. So thank you so much. And that was your goal. And that's it for us. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Annalisa Burgos for Hawaii News Now.